Great evening, everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday evening of your favorite program here on YouTube. Let's Talk, the program where you are educated, informed, and inspired. I am your host, Ancelena Versatility, but my co host, Mr. Dwayne Davis, is not here with us as yet. But guess what? Let's Talk is celebrating 1 year. Yes, 1 year today, March 21st, 2023. We are celebrating 1 year, and we want to take you just on a little trip down memory lane. As usual, something special in store for you. I have invited some of our past presenters and guests, etc., just to come on and to share with us. You, our audience, this evening also will be given the opportunity just to share. I will be sharing the link in the chat at some point. And if you want to just come on and share from when you have started tuning into this program, how has this program, if it has impacted your life, if you have learned anything from this program, we just want you to come on over this evening and share with us. Welcome, Roshan. Happy to see you're one of my main supporters. She's always ready, she's always on time. And I hope you have something to share this evening, Roshan, about the program. Let's talk. Work was okay. How was your day, Roshan? I am doing well also, giving God thanks. All right, so my co-host is here with us, Mr. Davis.
Right here. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk again. I was having a bit of computer challenge earlier, but I'm on finally. All right. Nice to have you on this evening. Today we're gonna celebrate. We're celebrating 1 year of Let's Talk. Can you believe it? I wasn't there at the first, but some very interesting programs and features and artists and this a person and that the person there, all type of person, but all to the glory of our Father, Jesus Christ. So if you haven't told a neighbor, you haven't tell a friend, to tell another friend, to tell somebody else, round this so, over this so, round so, back so, over so, this so, tell them that Let's Talk is on, the program that informs, inspires, educates, yes, and even entertain. Come join in. Let's talk. Good evening. Want to big up Kim Alex, one of our hosts some time ago on the program. Big up yourself, Lady Kim. Welcome to Let's Talk. In this program, as he says, celebrating, we want to know how well this program has impacted you, whether you're an artist, you're a pastor, evangelist, etc., etc. So those who are joining us from Eastern Caribbean will be joining us. Big up to you as well. Those are from Canada. Big up to you as well. UK, South Africa, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Myanmar, wherever you hear us from. Big up yourself. All right. Buenos dias. All right. Buenos noches. All right. So big up to you all again. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's talk. And guess what, people? The interviewer is going to become the interviewee very soon. Gonna put her on the spot this evening. So I hope Lady Boyd is ready to tell us a little bit about herself. Some things that you might not have known. I believe she's gonna be an upcoming author. Um, she's laughing in the background. She's doing a lot of stuff. But this one I'm gonna pick from her vault. I have several I'm gonna share. Was also unable to put this one that I want to share on it, it says value yourself the way you want to be valued by others. Again, value yourself the way you want to be valued by others. A doormat can only be placed at a door, and that's its value. Value yourself the way others value you. I would want her to explain many of these quotes, of course. I'm gonna check on her later on with that. I want to big up my friend Mr. Doyle all the way from over there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All the persons tuning in from that side, the Eastern Caribbean, which is now 9:36 their time, and UK and everybody all over this so all them country there we can't even call them names. Solomon Islands and British Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos. Special big up. So if you never share with us on the program before, we're asking you going to share about Let's Talk, talking to the host this evening. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed evening. All right, so I'm getting ready to share with you some of Lady Boyd's quotes. I shared one with you just now. I'm going to bring in that up. We also have another one of our guests this evening that will be telling us how much this program, Let's Talk, has impacted you. I know you might be multitasking out there in virtual land, but we want to see in the comments how this program has really touched your life. Is it that you felt motivated? Is it that listening to one of these programs you felt inspired? Is it that listening to one of these programs you felt that boy, I can make it? Or something? How has it impacted you? What did it do for you physically? What has it done for you mentally? What has it done for you psychologically? And most of all, last but never least, what has it done for your spiritual well being? We are talking this evening about that and much more. So, Lady Boyd is in the hot seat this evening. Great evening to you again, Lady Boyd.
Great evening, Mr. Davis. Just before you move on, I have one of the guests that I had asked to come on this evening, and she's
Mm-hmm.
asking to go first because she has some prior engagement.
All right, not a problem.
She is now on. I'm not sure if she's ready for us.
Good
Gonna add her to the stream. Go ahead, Mr. Davis. She's added.
Or she's not ready.
No man, she's added.
All right, great. So, Miss Richardson, is it right? Am I correct?
Yes, Gracie
yes, sir.
Richardson.
Yes, you can go right ahead, my dear. The floor is now yours. Take us away.
Uh, Good or great evening, everyone. It is indeed a privilege to be on Let's Talk tonight. And I just want to say happy first anniversary to this powerful program. I am really happy that Mrs. Boyd or Sister Boyd took it upon herself to go outside of the box, not to conform to the norm, and to do something that I don't think we see quite often on you. And this Let's Talk program, it's really a great program. I have learned so much from it. And this program does not only focuses on spiritual aspect of one's life, also the different areas of your health wise, financial, just you as an individual, how to grow holistically. This program is really helpful. I have benefited a lot from it, and also being given opportunity to share on multiple occasions in this program. I never have seen myself as someone who will be asked to share on any platform and to just um give or impart information to other individuals, and that has also boost my confidence to know that if I am asked or put in any position where I'm asked to share, that I am capable of sharing my views. And so I'm really grateful for this program. I can see its growth. It's getting bigger and better. And I know that great things are in store for this program. I can see I've learned a lot. This program have taught me to even look about life insurance, or even regards to if it wants to maybe have a house mortgage, or how to pray effectively, or what is Lent about, all persons, how you have, I've gotten so many inspirational stories from persons who have overcome certain obstacles, certain challenges, to become great individuals of society. Oh, if for instance you might be called into the prophetic ministry, how do you go about that? I have learned so much from this program, and this program is just so, you know, it's something that I think that is needed for a time like this. At every Tuesday, 8:30, you can look forward to have being a part of a program that is informative, a program that where you can not only learn from it, but you can also impart to others and share your views, and it's really good. Because there are a lot of controversial issues, and to hear us taking a view on it as Christian persons is a lot, especially when we talk about corporal punishment. And those are the things I am just so grateful to have been a part of this program. Can't you believe, imagine that it's 1 year already? Because Sister Boy said 1 year anniversary. I'm like, 1 year already? OMG, time surely is flying. But yes, it has been 1 year, and I look forward
Mhm.
to many, many more years. And as this program grows, it will continue to not to reach persons not limited to our island or country, but persons all across the world, from any age group, from any background, and persons will just be able to be blessed, and just be able to say, I have learned, or Let's Talk by Mrs. Ancelena Boyd have taught me so much and have changed my life for the better. But so that is my view. Yeah. And thank you so much, Mr. Davis, for being a part of the team and joining in, because you have added, a new, a fresh touch.
Financing.
Yeah, you have enhanced our programs, a fresh touch to Let's Talk. Yeah,
Bless you, Sister Glacia. Thank you for sharing. Mr. Davis,
you're welcome.
All
do you
right,
have any
thank you
turn?
so much,
Because remember that
um,
change around.
Miss Richardson. Great to have you that know that it has helped you in your spiritual walk. And I remember one of the programs you was on as well. Sorry guys, was having somewhat of a little technical difficulty trying to iron it out. But I'm back, and we are talking, as we said, to the host is now the guest, or vice versa. So I'm putting her in a hot chair this evening to talk about herself. Gonna ask her a question. I wonder if she know. Hmm.
All right,
The
before you
first.
go ahead, I'm going to inform the audience that I will be
Yeah.
sharing the link also in the chat. So if
Mm-hmm.
you so desire to join and share this evening, apart from just typing in the chat, you may
Right.
on the link and we will add you to the stream so you will be able to share with us this evening. Thank you, Sister Henry.
All right.
Once again,
Very
welcome
good.
everybody.
Excellent. I was surprised later on, but I'll wait for later on the excitement part. All right, so Ladyboy, the first question: do you know her first name is Ancelena? Let's take the shine off right there. What does Ancelena really mean? Did you do that? Did you do a search?
Oh
Wait,
my God.
I am turning somewhat of a I won't say Dion. I'm going to be Dean Miller. I'm using that name loosely here. I'm the journalist this evening with you. So first one, do you know that one? I'll have to come back to that one.
You know that I have researched by name so many times, and but I can always remember that Ancelina Uh, it symbolizes somebody who is who is a born leader, who is a born leader. I can always remember that. And I have always seen myself as a leader. That doesn't mean because I'm a leader, I'm not a follower, but yes, that's one of the meaning of the name and Selena. I'm trying to go back to it, Mr. Davis, to find because it carry several meaning. I think it also mean at one point I said I think pure as
Mm-hmm.
well. Also means somebody that is pure in nature. Yes, so those are two of the meanings that comes from the name and Selena. Leader and pure.
All right, I think that's pretty much depicting the lady that I have known for these couple of months, of course.
Yes.
So that is the icebreaker here. I know Roshan, Lady Noble is in. If she wants to pop in now or she wants to come a little later on from now, she wants to jump in. All right, she ready to jump in. Good evening, Lady Noble.
Good evening, Mr. Davis.
You can go right ahead. We're hearing you.
Supporter, welcome, Roshan. Happy to have you celebrating with us this evening.
Well, I'm having a cold at the moment, but yeah.
All right, go ahead and share with us.
Okay. Um, like let's talk. I for my I've been on this program, which has inspired me a lot. Even when I was I was going to do my city and guild exam. I was saying to myself that I won't get them this time because last time I didn't get the subject. So I was saying that I won't get them this time around. So I came on Let's Talk a few weeks before the exam, yeah. And it has inspired me, and then I did the exam in August, June, June, no, July, August in those days. And I went for the results, and I passed them. I got passed and I got merit for both math and English and food. Yeah. So Let's Talk has inspired me a lot, and it is a very good program. I would encourage other persons like me, like young persons like me, to come on because it can it can teaches you a lot. It teaches you a lot of things, and it inspires people. It motivates people to move forward and don't watch the circumstances they are having. Just keep going. So it has inspired me a lot, and it motivates me to keep going and don't and never give up. And all the presenters who have came on and shared their stories, it motivates me to keep going because if I haven't been on this program, I don't know I don't know where would I end up. Probably I wouldn't get any city and girls this time around. So it has inspired me, and it's a wonderful program, and looking forward to come back another time and to experience to get more motivations and to get more inspiration.
Thank you so much, Roshan. I think she's finished, Mr. Davis.
All right, great. And nice to hear that the program is making an impact on the young and the young at heart. Excellent program. So I'm going to jump right into some questions, as you know, persons who want to know more about you, the person, the presenter. Sorry, I can't have Sir Boyd, my partner in crime in music, Mr. Drummer, on with me. Hopefully, he can join us a little later so I can speak to him as well. But
Yeah.
let's talk about Ancelena. Where did it all begin for Ancelena growing up? Yeah.
All right. So before I answer that question, you had asked me the meaning of my name, right? So I went back into my phone because I know that I had researched it and I have it here. So I'm going to give you some additional meaning prior to what I gave you earlier. So it also represents innovation,
Mm-hmm.
independence, determination, courage, sincerity, and also activity.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yes. All right. So where it all began for Ancelena. All right. So I was born and I grew up in Raymond's district, right here in A's. And I was actually born here in Raymond. I wasn't born at a hospital. I was born at home. Them time that them have the what we call him now?
Midwife.
The midwives. Yes, man.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time my mother sent to get the midwife, I was out and ready because I was just ready, ready, ready to take on this world.
Right.
Yes. And I have spent most of my life here in Raymond. Earlier, when I got married, that was the only time that I really moved away. I moved away for what? About, I think it's about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we returned back here to Raymond. So that's where it all began for me here in Raymond.
So you started at Raymond. So what about school life that time? Since you were like ready to say,
Earl, I'm
push
ready for you. I'm
jump
ready
out, ready for the world.
here to
What was
conquer.
school life like? Were you that dashing young lady, young girl at that time, ready to dash at work and play and all of that? Tell us about that part.
Well, as you know,
Early
Mr.
years.
Davis, by nature, I am somebody who's what? They would call me an introvert. I am very reserved, shy, but I call myself an ambivert, right? Fit right
Mm-hmm.
between the intro and the extrovert because if I need to do something, I'm gonna get it done. I am gonna show up and I'm gonna put myself out there and I am going to get it done no matter how shy I am. So I attended the Raymond's basic school. That's right up there. I don't know how well you know Raymond's, the center, right up.
Yes, man, I know where exactly.
Yes, and it is still there. After that, I transitioned to Washington Primary. I spent, I think, about 4 years at Washington, grade four. I left Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Not because, listen now, so my sister, she was moving up to a school, is all age. And I decided that, look here, I am not staying at Washington. So when I leave out to school, I did not go to Washington. I took up myself and I went to a school. And they had to call my mother, and when they called her, she came and she spoke to them. And I decided I am not going back to Washington. I'm staying right here where my sister is. And they said, okay, allow her to come to school in my Washington uniform until my uniform was ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. After that, I
Sorry,
went.
I stick it up in here before you go to the high school part. So you're actually a past student of Washington too?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, you didn't know?
No,
Yes,
that's new
man,
to
I am
me.
also.
From what year to what year, if you don't mind. We're not giving away the age now, you know.
I am not afraid to say my age. I am 36, going on 37. I am
Okay.
proud of my age.
And they say we're not afraid to tell your age, you know.
Oh no, this one is not afraid. This one is not afraid.
Right,
Right.
excellent.
I'm not so quite sure of the year, honestly. I know that I left primary school 1999. Yes. So if you do the math, if you do the math,
Mm-hmm.
you will actually know the year. Yes, I left primary school in 1999. Went to Kemsel High School. Should I
Mm-hmm.
continue? I thought you were going to ask. Okay.
Yeah, I had something else in mind. Just before I jump to Kimsel,
Yes.
also my alma mater as well, going there and talking some more about that. But what was it? Backtracking a little, the basic school years, just a little back there. Was there a particular teacher or teachers or somebody in the school community, let's say a janitor or the cook or somebody in that season that really stood out to you?
Ah, Miss Campbell. Miss Campbell at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Miss Campbell. When you really go basic school, really say you have a mentor per se, 'cause, you don't
Right.
really really at it, but I remember Miss Campbell. She was an excellent teacher, and yeah, Miss Campbell. She was an excellent teacher and individual as well.
So special big up to Lady Campbell at
Miss
the basic school level.
Campbell.
So what say the primary school?
Here,
You have teachers that you remember during the short period of time you were there that really stood
yes,
out as
man.
well.
I could never forget. I think Miss Chinfat was there at that time. Not Miss Chinfat, not our current Miss Chinfat, but the senior
Mm-hmm.
Chinfat.
Mother
Oh
Chin
Lord
fact.
God, oh Lord God. Not
Bring
one
my
to
back
mess
down
with.
memory lane, eh?
Not one to mess with. And
Yeah,
you had a
I
Miss
want to say this
Smith.
before you say it, although
Yeah.
no words gonna come out. You know that type of thing when you're watching those kung fu movies and it is delayed. Don't mess with Miss Chin fact.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. And
All
also
right.
Miss Smith. Miss Smith
Right.
also.
That is now Lady Clark.
Yes, yes, yes,
Right.
Mrs. Clark. I don't even know if Mrs. Clark remembered me, but Miss Simit at the time. And I think I was in the same Bloomer Hole, If it wasn't Bloomer Hole, it was Aki. I think I was in the same Bloomer Hole, or it was Aki, I'm not sure. And the
Mm-hmm.
song that I have, I never forget this song, Miss Simit song at the time. Adi Adi Yo, everywhere we go, people want to know who we are. And we tell them, yes, we tell them, we are the champion. We never get beaten. And we carry God St. Margaret Mary and we carry come back to Washington. I
All right.
never, that song resonated with me up until now. But
Mm-hmm.
primary school, I enjoyed myself. I participated, you call it track and field. Yeah, man, run sports day.
So you can run.
Oh yes, I can run, but at this like that, my
No,
body
having a sports
but
event coming up, So I
I
wonder
have
if
I have a slip knee. I have a
okay.
slip kneecap. Yes. So from time to time I encounter some little challenge there, but yes, man, I
Mm-hmm.
am a I am a I am a woman of speed.
All
Hard
right.
to hard to beat.
All right.
Yes.
Great. So we had that at Watson and Raymond's Basic, and you said Hayes.
Yes,
Is there after final from that one? Was there something impactful that somebody stamped you at Hayes before you went on your next journey? Anybody that stood out?
Um, oh Lord.
Or there are several?
There are several. You had this teacher, Miss Lulu, very good teacher,
Mm-hmm.
another stern one, no nonsense person. I think some of those teachers that have passed through Miss Chinfat, Miss Lulu, and Miss Smith, no Mrs. Clark, it kind of rub off
Mm-hmm.
on me. You have
Right.
Mrs. Barnes, God bless her soul, she passed
Mm-hmm.
on, and
Yes.
and also Mrs. Miller at A school. Those are three of the teachers that you would really say used to run A school. When you see Miss Lulu coming, it's time to move. You're not even fear the principal. You're not even fear Mr. Singh.
Yeah.
You fear so that is just the whole truth
So
about it.
I am getting a nod here. Mrs. Davis is right in the background, and
Okay,
she's saying,
okay,
She's saying yes, Lulu, and she's also saying Miss Francis.
Miss Francis. I am not remembering Miss Francis. I am not
The,
remembering.
the vice principal, she says,
The vice principal. Okay, I'm not remembering her.
the loud voice.
And I'm telling you, Mr. Davis, at that time,
Mm-hmm.
you really know about not spoiling this child and sparing the rod at that
Right.
time.
Mm-hmm.
No, no student at that time. The student couldn't ask the teacher, "Did my parent give you permission?" Like these days, nowadays, students asking, "But miss, did my mother give you or my parent give you permission to hit me?" The old corporal punish. She said, "Save it, just save the eye, teacher. Just save
Mm-hmm.
the eye." So you know that you had to be on your P's and your Q's,
Right.
to be on your best behavior. You had to
Mm-hmm.
watch your words. Nowadays, the words are just flying in the teacher's presence. No respect for authority.
All right. So before you go there, have some good Western there and discipline. I'm gonna big up Lady Shelley and Brown from
Yes.
St. Vincent. I don't think she's on at the moment, but big up anyway. I know Evangelist will convey the message for us. And the man himself that has been there, done that.
Mr.
And
L.
him was for me, Jesus.
Very
My
good.
Jesus himself, Mr. Douglas, all the
Yes.
way from over there in St. Martin. Big up. Big up, my brother. I know West Indian discipline is here because I understand that even the other territories, not only Jamaica, but St. Vincent and them, something there, you feel ramp with the parents in those days.
Oh my God.
You know, your bottom will get to a spanking. I know
Yes.
it's no different as well. Special big up to them, of course. And before we go into the high school journey, as a
Mr.
piggyback on
Mr.
something,
Mr. Douglas is saying to me, Mr. Davis, if the knee is bad, run for politics.
would you want to do? Would you want to be a runner for politics? I don't
Oh
know.
no,
Let's
certainly not.
let's leave that one for
Certainly,
now for later.
certainly
But
not.
let's go back to a little on the whole school. Can you imagine now? The child is out of line. You have to get something in writing to say that you can do this or say that to the child. Not that you're going to be disrespectful and all of that, but I think somewhat we have lost it.
Yes.
Not only in Jamaica, because I know in other territories, as I said before, St. Martin, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad, etc. There are pockets of these things that we are having here in Jamaica. They are having it too. So
Yes.
um, this whole discipline thing is kind of out of. Your parents could give you a touch or your teacher could give you a touch. And they wouldn't beat it to say save the eye, but they would really give you a spanking and get you back
And
in
yes,
line. And
yes.
I think that is missing. And you had a program on called corporal punishment, but we'll get into that. But
And that
this
was
thing is
actually
about.
the very first program.
I remember, yes,
Yes, the very first.
I spoke about that.
Yeah.
Is missing. So how can we somewhat bridge that type of gap before we run on to the other
Um,
places that have been?
Mr. Davis, looking at it, you are there, you are in the system. I don't even
Right.
want to say much
Yeah,
as you.
but just in a nutshell, for those
Yeah,
who
man,
might not
because
be there.
sometimes your words will come back to haunt you, but there is not much
Mm-hmm.
that we can do.
Mm-hmm.
What we can do now is just it is very limited
Right.
because we have to not only say the corporal punishment in say the physical beating of the child. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot you cannot punish a child to a certain extent. You cannot say
Mm-hmm.
certain things to a child. And even so, children, they're going home and they're telling lies on the teachers. And
Mm-hmm.
the parents that we now have in society, they're not coming to school to rectify, to get information and try and resolve the situation. What they are trying to do is to come to school to attack the teachers. And we
Right.
see where not only the parent, but the little boys and the little girls who are going to school, they are also attacking the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see much being done in
Right.
that regard. So I believe that
From the
should
powers
go
that be.
greatly
Mm-hmm.
to where we are at now in society.
Right. I know. As I say, won't
Crime
say
and
much.
the violence and most of it
Right. It's a
by
microcosm of what is
young
happening.
persons, young persons,
Right.
young
The
persons.
microcosm
So
of
I
what is happening, and I know.
and
I,
as the child's month theme, reignite the village. I think we need some more. We need to really, really reignite
right.
the village because I cannot see your child. Not saying you're your child. You know what I'm saying. I
Right.
can no longer see your child on the road and correct your child because your child would be disrespectful to me. And then your
Mm-hmm.
child probably comes home and complain to you. And then you in turn, instead of, coming to me as an adult, then you come to attack me. You defend your child.
Right.
So we need
Right.
to resolve those things in order to fix what is going on now.
Right. And I say this before I move on. The powers that be would have to make the necessary steps. You can do so much as a teacher, as an educator, and no more. Your hands are going to be tied because, as you say, not the physical thing. If you say to a child, okay, you're making too much noise, and if that child feels that that is offensive to them, they decide that if it's so offensive to them, the powers that be you can be in problems, be called off for disciplinary action and all of that. But that's the best we can
Yeah.
do, and we will do what we can. All the best. Yes, asking about the cake and the ice cream and all of that. We probably will have that on when a Let's Talk program goes live on location sometime maybe this year, hopefully. It
Yes,
won't be
yes,
at 8:30 in the evening. No, that's too late. Probably have it 8:30 in the morning or 10 o'clock. We do a Let's Talk program live on location. Who knows? Somewhere in Jamaica, live on
yes.
location in Portland or somewhere else. Thank you, Lady
And
Anika.
we can also remind our audience that I have shared the link in the
Mm-hmm,
chat. I'm going to share it once more. You can join and also add to the conversation this evening.
mm-hmm. So you springboarded from school to school. Now it's a high school journey. Boy, high school now we are turn girl, big girl, we are turn woman now. Other part they go. As I
Oh,
remember, when the face I start touch first down, now you're clean and fresh,
yes, man. Me always clean and fresh. But the
Yeah.
thing
But which
about
one are the fresh?
I no man, I have always been a quiet child. Sister Selma, are you on? One
Right,
of my past teacher and also colleague. We worked
right.
together after some years. I have always been a very respectful and mannerable individual child. I don't think there's a teacher who can say that I have ever been disrespectful
Mm-hmm.
to them. I'm not saying that I am perfect, but
Right.
yeah, man, I was trained well. I was raised well by my mother. I was raised well to know to respect adults. So
Mm-hmm.
when I went to high school, the whole puberty and thing, it never really get to my brain. Never
Mm-hmm.
really get to my brain. I remain humble. I
Right. That
remain
sounds good.
humble, and I knew my purpose. I knew my reason why I was going to school. And I think that's something that some of our children they really lack these days. They don't know the purpose, the reason why they are at school to get an education.
Right. Definitely. That is so. And jumping on something that you said, why I said this, because a lot of times our youngsters they move from various states, and once they hit high school, a lot of them
Mhm.
is like they don't know miss anymore and they don't know sir anymore,
So, yeah.
and they passing with their friends, and it's this and it's that color, color, color.
Hmm.
And the other friend will touch him and say, you know, see, teacher, the teacher color, color, color.
Yeah, man.
And I have heard that on my way, well, picking up my sons from school, the other schools have dismissed, and
Yes.
on the road, they're in the middle of the road, and it's like the bus and the taxi are to drive in the air because the entire road surface is there. So,
Belongs to
so
them. Yeah.
it belongs to them. But I'm happy what you said, that you were clean and fresh, and not the one that your mom wanted to go give you some GWD, some
Hold
good
on.
West Indian discipline.
And let me tell her something, Mr. D.
Mm-hmm.
My mother now, she don't play. If it was
Oh,
no, if it was no, she gone to prison a long time. She gone to prison 40 times. If you
mhm.
understand what I mean.
I know.
Me never
I
get a
can
lot
tell
of
about
schooling.
mine.
Me get a lot of schooling from my mom. I can say that. But my mother, she don't play.
Mm-hmm.
But she kind of water down the thing now with our grandchildren. But she don't play, man.
Oh yeah, we know about that.
So,
The grandchildren snuff in their mouths.
so I have
So let's talk
my
about that.
children is
So let's talk about that part now, because a lot of times the mom, the dad is for the girls, and the mom is for the boys. But you say mom was a strong
and you realize
influence
that
in your
I
life.
only talk about my mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get yes. Go ahead
Yes,
for the
talk about mommy. What was mommy? By the way, is mommy on? Is mommy listening
no,
or
my mother is at church. She's at church now. They're having convocation at her church 1 week, so she's there now.
all right? So mommy,
Big up my
get
mother,
big up.
Miss Godfrey. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am. Best mother around town.
Mommy Guthrie, big up yourself. You will hear this back the world
Yes,
over from your daughter Ancelena. Big up
yes.
yourself. So tell us about Lady Guthrie. You said she not play. So I mean, tell us about her. What was
She,
she like? How
she
is she your hero? What tell us about her?
oh
Let the
yes,
audience
definitely,
just let
definitely,
honest start know
definitely,
about her.
definitely.
Let the kitty out of
Yes. Oh Jesus, the
that's
internet.
one of the first present we're pulling this evening. Pull out the mommy out of the bag. And let's
The
talk about mommy.
internet is acting up. All right. I hope everybody can hear me here. In and out, Mr. Davis. I'm not sure if it is
Yeah,
from my end,
I know.
if it's from your end, but as you
I'm
said, if
having a
she's
little my
hero,
end. Yeah.
as you said, if she's my hero, yes, she is my hero. She's somebody that I can rely on. I can call on her at any time, even though at my
Mm-hmm.
adult stage, she still takes care of me. Your role as a mom, her role as a mom, never cease to
Mm-hmm.
exist. So growing up, I can remember from a tender age, Victoria Banana Company.
Yes.
Yes, yes, man. All right, so that's where she used to work as a child coming up. That's where she used to work, and I can remember a truck used to come and pick them up at about 5 a.m. in the morning. And can
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, Mr. Davis, she knows that she won't be home until 6, 7 o'clock, sometime later on in the
Mm-hmm.
evening. And my mother, she get up to, so you can just imagine how early she would get up. We get rice and peas.
Wow.
She get up and she prepare our rice and peas. She prepare our breakfast. She ensure that we have the breakfast and we have the dinner. So when we come home from school, even though she's not there, we are still taken care of. She never neglect her role. She brought up 5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm gonna say basically, fathers
Right.
were present, maintaining how they, yeah. But she brought up 5 of us basically on her own. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
perfect, but I believe she did, and she gave the best that she could to us. I remember she was a Christian. She was a Christian, but when my eldest brother, who died,
Mm-hmm.
father left. I guess after that because they were married and he, in those days the man them a go overseas at work and he didn't come back. He left and he didn't come back. So I guess that's how she got fallen from grace. But growing
Mm-hmm.
up, we used to go to church.
Right.
My sister Nikisha and I, we had to go to church. We could not miss church on a
Mm-hmm.
Sunday morning. So we were brought up in church. We know the importance of serving God. She
Mm-hmm.
instilled good principles and values in us.
Right. This is
Hard
so
work,
excellent.
hard working woman. Hard
Mm-hmm.
working woman. I remember I am gonna touch on when I just started out in college. When I left Kemsel, I went to Very Technical. After I left to Very Technical, I went to UCC, University College of the Caribbean. Look a girl, a
Mm-hmm.
teenager, and I know nothing about Kingston, but anyways, Wanga College, and my mother, she was only doing a babysitting job at that time. So you know that she couldn't really give me much. So even though I was in town and going to school, it's like I had to be back and forth almost every day because I had to be coming for the little change that she would have to give
Right.
me to go to school. So yeah man, she did her very best and she continues to do her very best up until this day.
All right. A special big up again to Mama Gotri. And
Yes.
Mr. Douglas is saying that's what you call Mama loving.
Oh
Of
yes.
course
Oh
it
yes.
is.
Oh yes.
And again, we're extending the invitation if you want to pop on the live and share how this program has impacted you. As I said, it has impacted you spiritually, emotionally, and all of that. Whatever it has done for you physically, it has helped you to get your own home. It has helped you to resolve your conflict, etc., etc. Your contribution, maybe a sentence or two, would be adequate. All right. So special big up to all the moms on the platform as well that are doing their best with their children. Sometimes almost single-handedly. I want to give kudos to them as well. And also not to be outdone are the fathers, the good ones, the real dads, the real fathers out there as well, who are doing their best with their children as well. And we're going to touch on that aspect. Maybe not a lot, but just a little bit. How was that part of a dad, or it was not much present? Just not very,
Um
just in brief.
My father, he was not very much present in my life. I am
Mm-hmm.
the third child for both my mother and my father, who is deceased. God bless his soul.
Right.
He was not very present in my life. Live same place here in Raymond. However, I was the outside child, if you understand what I mean. I was the outside child. When I grew up, and no father and whatever, I resented him.
Mm-hmm.
I resented him for years. I did not want to have any conversation with him. I would go
Mm-hmm.
around here to the house, visit my grandmother, talk with my grandmother, my sisters, and so forth, but I never tried to have that relationship with him until in my latter teenage years. I remember my uncle Robert is also deceased, my
Mm-hmm.
father's brother, because he and I we had a close relationship, even though we never really deal with my father like that. And he encouraged me and he said, because they call me Cherry. That's my nickname for those who don't know. They call me
Yeah.
Cherry. And you know the thing, oh God, I miss Robert so much. Robert would meet me down by the cross. I don't know if in time me when me I come from school at evening time, but he always somehow with me down at the crossroad and then he will walk with me when him always on him bicycle and come out and he walk with me. And I remember one
Mm-hmm.
particular evening he said to me, Cherry, you know, The man love you, you know, man. You need to go. You need to go and talk to your father. You need to have conversation with him. And I, not in the same moment. It took me a little while to wrap my head around it. And I did went to him and I spoke to him and we had a good little chat that Sunday. And
Mm-hmm.
realizing that he and I we had so much. We had so much in common. We like the same music and a lot of things. And we developed. Then after that, we developed that little bond. We developed a relationship. But years after that, them not decide to take him away from me. Couple of years after that, he was gunned down at his
Mm-hmm.
workplace right there in Maypen. I don't know if anybody on here can recall the whole incident, the shootout, the robbery at the Cambio in Maypen. He was one of the security there that was
Okay.
that was killed. Yeah.
Yeah, that one must have been tough, but I know it has helped somebody, and that's what program Let's Talk is all about. As our host, now our guest presents her story to us. She spoke about the mom's love, and Kim Alex also agrees with this one, and also cannot be outdone. As I said, is the fathers that are there, those who will see their mistake now that they have not taken care of their girl or boy properly
Yes.
and making amends. So dads out there who are listening, and you know another dad out there, they now have paternity leave. You
Yes,
at
sir.
least get a month or a little over a month. That's that the public sector is just about a month. Private sector is a little over that, where you can go home and interact with your little son and daughter. All right, so I'm imploring the gentlemen out there, the men out there, don't let it be like back in the day. Understand? Know your children. Even if you and the mother are not on good terms, go to your child's school, make some sort of impact, because the
Right.
society needs it. Many a
Necessary and
times,
important.
many a times our girls, our little girls, are lost because some foolish guys out there that can't even read can recall an incident at high school. This guy had a lot of girls, lady boy, and he can't read. And that's a face boy, but me not think he can pen one love letter to get one girl. But the girls them a flock, he can't read. So I'm imploring um the gentlemen out there. We know a few ladies kinda messed up too, but especially gentlemen out there, make that
Yes.
impact. Do your due diligence. So even if
Neglecting
the
your
mom is not
responsibility.
passing the information on, get to know your child's teachers at primary, at basic, at infant, wherever, high school, even up to college. Even when they're married and gone on their own, find out where she live. And now if you live her house, just find out what she live, what she do. Daughter, me I come check you, you know. You know, if you have a change of walk with you, if you know nothing, you bring one rose or your daughter, your
Mhm.
son.
Being
Get them,
curious what is
you
going
know.
on, what is happening in their life.
Right, find out what going on, man, and it will really make a difference. And I know for somebody listening out there, that's why we have this program, this and every Tuesday, and it is 1 year now, and we want you to be impacted, whether you're impacted in a spiritual, physical, or even emotionally, psychologically. It's all out there for you. Yes, indeed. So, lady boy, as we roll the curtains of memories back and we jump, I want to hear a little bit about the siblings. Cause I have only one other sibling, you know, and it's a sister. Well, I heard of an outside brother, but I'm not so close.
How about the
But
siblings? Oh,
mm,
Jesus.
tell us how many of is it? Uh, how many? Can we count?
I can't count. Oh, Lord.
It's full of two hand.
Yes, man. Two of them.
Wow,
Quite a
a
few,
big
you know.
family then, man.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
big.
tell us a little bit about your siblings. How many sisters? How many brothers?
Oh, Lord,
Tell
so
us a little bit about that.
I don't really count them like that, you know, but I think I have about eight sisters. Yes, I think I have about eight sisters. I would be the ninth one. Um, three brothers. Well, three brothers. I met another brother after my father died. I have not really heard from him. We have not had any real contact with him after that.
Right.
But I am sure of three. Two of my brothers are deceased, one on my mother's side and the other on my father's side. So I am left with one and only brother.
So shout out to the brother, them man. Big up. Tell for
Big up
big up.
yourself, my brother Junior, Ralph Nemard. Yes, man, my one and only brother who is very dear to me. I love all my sisters, but your brother.
And tell them about it, the brother vibe there, because funny enough, I'm gonna use myself. Me and my sister will have vibe, maybe because she's married and whatever now. But back in
Yes.
the days, telling a little about me too. It's all about you this evening. I squeeze a little about myself. Um,
Yeah,
and I remember with me and my sister. Me and my sister used to par. So when the concert I keep on, me and sister.
yeah.
When it was other things, me and sister. So tell us about that kind of energy between you
Well,
and Junior.
well, not going out per se. My brother, he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't live here. He lives in Canada, but home, bona vibes. We will talk and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. I am his confidant. I am in his corner, prayer wise, anything he calls his ancestors pray for me, X, Y,
Right.
Z, and so forth. But we keep the link, we keep the connection just the same, even though he is not here.
And another quick question: how important do you think your relationship is with him? I know the spiritual part is there, but how has it helped you in your relationship since that brother there really your paring P. Tell us all about that because I know
Um,
sometimes there's
it's
some
basically in general, Mr. Davis.
mm,
Like the father figure would be in your life, and in my relationship, how a father treats a daughter. So the relationship basically that I have with my brother helped me to know or realize how a husband or how a man should really treat his wife. That tender, that little tender care they when have
mm,
towards me.
yeah,
Um,
TLC, they call it TLC.
right, all right, yes, and
All
so
right, for the youngsters who don't know, it's tender loving care.
and my yes, yeah. Hmm.
Great. So you I'm gonna ask about the sisters now, because sisters
My eight
them
sisters.
pretty and they want the pretty and they want the pretty and the little sister kind of vibe there and they want
Yes.
they not to tell us a little bit about that. All the sisters. What's the relationship
Well,
like you and all your sisters?
well, to be honest, I don't really have talk with all of my sisters and so forth, but I don't really have a relationship per se with all of my sisters at this point. I
Mm-hmm.
guess because some of us we kind of grew up hard as adults, some X, Y, and
Yes.
Z, but
Right.
we still maintain a link and a relationship. Um, Kim, I'm gonna call her name. She was the youngest. She was the youngest sister, who I had a close relationship per se, and that is my closest relationship. My father's daughter. But
Mm-hmm.
growing up with the sisters on my mother's side, that we would have a more closer, connected relationship up until this day. But I still maintain a relationship with my sisters on my father's side, even though it's not as close, knitted as you would want it to be. Yes, we still maintain the relationship.
So the family is a big family, man. A big
Oh
family.
yes,
So
we need to
when you
have
have
a
family reunion,
reunion, reunion.
space, reunion bigger, our reunions and the whole yes. Right.
Thank God, the family is really big, man. Nieces and nephews.
I can only imagine all of these things,
I
you
got
know.
a grandniece the other day. Lord
Wow.
Jesus, me turn grandaunt.
Really? So it's early.
Well, she's one. She is one. She turned one the 10th of this month. Yes, man, my nephew turned me in a grandaunt.
Yeah. Right. So they're very impactful family, and we are here with the versatile one. I'm trying to bring up some quotes here. Don't know if I can get it up. All right, it's coming up. What's coming up shortly? Um, as you said, also, you spoke about church. Let's go back there for a little bit before we go to the quotes. You spoke about church life. So, were you a Christian from an early age, or although you never too rude, you the kind of no, I know you just come to church because mommy say. What was it like?
Well, I didn't really started to walk with the Lord until I was 22. When I
Mm-hmm.
was 22, that's the time, yes. And let me tell you, it was a eunuch baptism. You know what is a eunuch baptism, right? Do you
Now tell us,
eunuch
in case I
baptism
don't
is
remember.
basically I never went to church to get baptized because
Mm-hmm.
I went to church. It was a crusade. I just went to
Mm-hmm.
church, I tell Sister Drummond, she live across from me. I'm Sister Drummond, so me I come a crusade with you tonight. And I just went and let me tell you, man, if that wasn't the Holy Spirit the night, I don't know. I was
I,
hearing on, they were singing praise and worship. Sister Melba is on. If Sister Drummond is on, she can tell it because after I shared the experience with her, she was saying, so Sister Boy Denise, when me rise up out I sleep and lift up, me said the Holy Spirit just sweep through in Mr. Davis.
you come like this, I know, with your foot.
Hello. And the tears just started to flow. The tears just started to flow. And I just walked right up. I just walked right up. It was a baptism night. I think I was the last person because the pastor was there in the pool and, beseeching other persons to come and so forth. I was the last person to be baptized that night. And that was March 29th, 2000 and I think it was 2009. Yes, on my nephew's birthday, March
Okay.
29,
So
2009.
March is a time of anniversaries, eh?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. We were
Anniversary for the program, anniversary for your baptism. Is it
anniversary.
anniversary for anything else?
No, it's my sister's birthday, and I told him my
Sister
grandnie's
birthday.
birthday. My
So
grandniece.
sister on the birthday coming up, big up yourself, of course. So church life, God swept you off your feet,
Oh
like
yes, oh yes.
um
I could not hold back. I could
one
not
of
say
these things, like right. So what say you after this sweeping off your feet? Was it that you were so impacted that you wanted to go into ministry? You want preach, you want sing, you want dance. What was it like? Tell us
look
more about
here,
that.
look here. The type of individual, although I have this reserve and this, sort of laid back
Mm-hmm.
personality. I remember when I got saved, I told God, I said, God, I don't want to be a barren Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be used. I want to be used by you. Whatever it is, whatever it is. And I remember when I got saved, we just launch out, man. We just
I
launch.
want you to repeat what you said earlier. Can you reiterate that? I don't want
I
to be
don't
a what?
want to be a barren Christian. Me must bear fruit.
Right, right. Yeah, I like that because
We are called to be
sometimes some
disciples.
persons and why you think that is important before
Hmm?
going why you not to be one barren Christian? Because we have a lot
Because
of
we
barren,
we were not
people out
saved
there,
to be the
Christians
church and to when they said to spread better to make better
who
to
are on
what
the bench.
we were one bench. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's the proper term. We were not saved to one bench, Mr. Davis. We are
Mm-hmm.
saved to be on fire. We are saved from ministry. We are saved to serve the church, to win
Yes.
souls for the kingdom of God.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever your purpose is, whatever it is that you can do, Just sit down there one bench, man. When I got saved, it was like I don't think it reached a year before I started being assistant Sunday school teacher for the young adult. I remember
Mm-hmm.
the night when I got saved, I met Reverend Rodney, was Deacon Rodney at the time. And let me tell you, that man, at that time, my father was already dead because my father died in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And that man, he took me under his wings. And he was now the father, he was now my father, the father, my spiritual father. He was a spiritual father in my life. And let me tell you that he groomed me, he and his wife. He groomed me in the faith. And I
Mm-hmm.
became assistant to him, assistant Sunday school teacher, and until I start doing serving in other areas of the church. I believe I don't think which year I don't serve in a church. Every single ministry, Mr. David, at my young age, I can tell you that I have served every single area. Choir, praise and worship, FTH, I serve on FTH, I served in young ladies, I serve in ladies, even in men, because when my husband was the men's president, I was right there with him, supporting. Of course, man, yes, man. Me enough up in everything. Me say, if I'm going to be enough, let me be enough for God. Let me be enough up in God's business. I don't care who want to say I'm enough. I serve in youth youth ministry. I
Mm-hmm.
served in finance committee. I served on the council board. I was once a deaconess in the church. Um, every area, every single area,
You sound very, very impactful.
I
Just
have
gonna
touched.
pause a little to say big up to Sasha Gay
Yes,
on the anniversary abundance and blessing. Yes, thank you very much, Lady Sasha Gay. Big up and enough respect you as well. All of you were just really impactful. And as you said that, something came to mind quickly. As you said,
give of ourselves.
you lost your dad and you got impacted by this gentleman.
Yes,
And
man.
I'm wondering, is it that we have lost it somewhat? Let's talk about that a little. In our churches, is that we don't have the mentors anymore. They're there to have mentees for the youngsters, excuse me, for the young men at church
Mhm.
and the young ladies. Are there no longer and men there to help the ladies? In some areas, are there no longer ladies there to help the young men and so on? Or there's no man there to impact the young men and ladies to impact the young ladies? What talk? Let us talk about that a little, because that's a very. I mean, we're gonna have a let's talk on that aspect in
I
the near.
would not say it's a case where we don't have men or women to serve
Mm-hmm.
as mentors or and so forth. But I think it has to deal with so we have what Generation X now, the generation of vipers.
Mm-hmm.
Really somewhat hard to deal with because I remember that we have a mentorship program at church. The ladies
Mm-hmm.
had
Excuse me.
this mentorship program where they would be assigned the young ladies and so forth, and to call, to encourage, to share scripture, to pray with them. I too
Mm-hmm.
did a mentorship program as well with the praise and worship team. So we had the senior praise and worship member, we had the junior praise and worship member. So each senior member was assigned a junior team member to
Mm-hmm.
mentor them. And sometimes it is the resistance. You try, but sometimes it doesn't work out. I am not saying that some
Right.
of us as adults, we have not lost it and we are somewhat neglecting our role because the Bible
Right.
tells us that the women, they must teach the young ladies and likewise the men
Right.
also must teach them in the faith. Some of us have neglected our responsibility. Some of us, we are afraid because we have to know our approach in this time in
Right.
dealing with this set of Generation X, this set of young people. Me are young people too, but me are one of the mature young people. Yes, me
Mm-hmm.
in between. So I think that is really the situation right now. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that you have who to really pass on the baton. Sometimes they are trying to pass on the baton, but who is supposed to reach out and get the baton is not really making themselves available to receive the baton.
Right, very, very much so. And it just begs it just came to my mind as we were talking about this whole thing. So a lot of time the role is not being taken up, as I said, they don't know um about these things to help each person along the way, because just like if you're not healed or delivered from something, how can you deliver somebody else? Or if you have not dealt with your hurt, excuse me, if you have not dealt with your hurt or your pain, how can we help somebody else through their hurt and their pain? So I think that's the other aspect of it that that probably they have not gotten into. I wanted to tell us a little bit more as we delve into this whole church. You say
Yeah.
you were in so many areas, so let's talk about. She's a singer too, people. The life, she a singer, bad singer too. Which part do you sing? Because me ear,
Don't bait me up in a mistake.
but me ear sing. Maybe I only base me no ear sing.
Oh God, what was the question? Which area I sing?
Yeah, yeah. What do you sing?
What I sing soprano and I sing alto and I think I can sing a little tenor, but I need to practice. I need some
I
more.
would say you sing it. Because I
Yes.
remember hearing it loud and clear somewhere when you're harmonizing. So
And
if
let
you're
me
gonna,
say, I cannot really harmonize, me just chip in now and then we look at
yeah
harmony.
man, he harmonized you there man, he reach, he make it.
I cannot really
Probably
sing.
gonna put you on the spot later on, so I give you a little time now to
No,
work
my
one of them nice song there in your head.
throat,
Yeah
my
man, I've got to give live one man. I see Kim Alex today, you know. Kim
but
Alex up still.
sing it
Yeah, you know, I'm
singing
gonna give you a bus.
is singing is my life. I was born to sing. I
Mhm.
was born to sing. That is my gift.
Kim Alex, you hear that?
That
Kim
is my gift. And if you ask my mother, oh Lord,
Mhm.
ask Sister Drummond, because she know all about it. I used to, I used to sing and preach. I just go up and I stand and I keep my church. That's what I am known for. Seriously, as a child, I used to do that. Go up on the rail and I get my pan and I knock and I sing and I preach and I pray and everything. Yes, man. So
Mhm.
I couldn't escape where I'm at right now. I couldn't escape it.
So
It's a
you were God
calling.
was actually preparing you for it from
Oh yes.
then.
Oh
Yeah, man,
yes.
we have to get little water. I give you a little water break. You sip some room temperature water and come sing. Whatever song impacted you, want you to sing at least a line or two from that. So yes, you're
I'm
in
gonna
the
sing my
ministry.
anthem for you.
Yeah,
At the,
man, you don't have to do it now. You can
yeah,
do
man,
it a
at the
little
end of the
later.
program.
Yeah, man, I take us out. So you were in several areas of the church ministry.
Yes.
What area was the most, did you say you had the most wonderful experience in, and what was the area? But I mean, the one that kind of too tough, you know. I mean, we will do it, but the one that you had the most challenging. Tell us about that one. Is it both of them are the same, or what was it?
Which era was really challenging for me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was never an era that I would say that I did poor at. Not tooting my own horn or anything. I'm
Right.
gonna just examine myself honestly. But whichever area I was working in, I
Mm-hmm.
always give it my best. I struggled, and I have to use wisdom.
Right. Yeah,
I
man. Sure.
struggled, I struggled in one particular area, and it's not because I could not manage or I could not function as I was expected to function. That was not my struggle. But things were let me say things were happening in that particular area that I was not so pleased with. And because
Right.
of it kind of hamper me somewhat. But the area that I loved. the most and I cherished the most was praise and worship.
Mm-hmm.
And you would, because I am always singing. I love praise and worship. Praise and worship is it's my baby.
Mm-hmm.
It is something that is implanted implanted within me, and I think I was impactful in that area
All
of
right,
my
excellent.
yes.
Let's see how well I can do this. I want to see how well I can hear this. We're going to a very interesting one now.
Mr. Davis, what you coming with? What is that? I'm not hearing anything, sir. Are you wanna hear a dance?
All right. I would have hoped you guys were hearing it.
What?
Wish you could have dropped in the audio. But what ta 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 da 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 da. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, drum roll, please. As we get into another segment, this part where you met Mr. Boyd,
What this
full of
one?
butterflies in the belly. Tell us about that part. Can't remember the verse and full about part there.
Oh Lord. All right. So this is easy. This is easy. This is easy. This is easy. So Boyd and I, we attend the same branch, not the same. Well, at the initial stage, we attended the
Mhm.
Palmer's Cross New Testament, and I attended the New Testament in A's. So I
Right,
would see him when we go to rally because our churches we're on the Palmer's Cross district. So I
right,
would see him when we like attend rally or go to a crusade and so forth. Different church events because I'm always I go different church events and I'm always going to church events because and what I admired initially I wasn't really visualizing him or seeing him as my husband, but I have always
mhm,
admired him as a young man serving God. I love to see young men on fire for God because we are that's what you are called. You're called to be the head, you're called to lead the charge. So I always love to see men on fire for God. And I always admired that about him. He goes to the rallies and the men's group, they are always ministering, they are always singing and going out. But here is when we made the link. We made the link, I think it was in 2011. Mr. Davis, come let me talk to myself. Anyways, let me
no man,
continue.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Made the link in 2011, and the link was made on Facebook. So at that
Okay.
point on Facebook, my name was Unanointed. So he sent me a message. I think it was on Messenger, and
Mm-hmm.
asked for my number, and I sent him my number. And it was like a while, a couple months or so after
Mm-hmm.
that. I remember I was coming from school because I used to do night classes, NCU module classes in the night. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was when he messaged me. And he never messaged me and said, I am Selena. He used to call me Unanointed. And
Mm-hmm.
just messaged me and said, the link has been made. And and that was it. And I responded. Um, Nothing never kick off then. Staying here, going on. I remember one Sunday I went. You must go give you the history, the story here. I went to his church. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I went to his church, and I was the one from Ace who ministered at his church, and that is his story. He said that at that time, the connection. So even though the link was made, the connection
Mm-hmm.
was not made as it. He said that was the time that the connection was made, and he knew that he wanted, a relationship with me. So after that, no, I remembered one Sunday he just messaged me and asked me if he can come for dinner.
Wow. Hey,
Yes, he asked me if he can come for Sunday dinner.
you're the one that know people.
At that time, I was staying with Sister Melva. So even though I was an adult, I don't just get up and say, "Oh yes, man, you can come for dinner." I asked permission and I said, "Is it okay for Jason to come over for dinner?" And I explained it was from Palmer's Crest and whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
he came over for dinner. I think it was in November. I think it was the 2nd of November. I think that date resonates. Why it sound like a ritual? Yes, that date is still in my mind. He came over for dinner, and from there we started. We said that I said that was the official date. That was our first date. I said that
Mm-hmm.
was our first date. That glasses.
He's in.
CM just reached.
Guess what? No, guess what?
He's
Bad
still on class.
cover.
No Patkuma. He's still on class, Mr. D. He's not available.
Hey, no, man, I'm
Sorry, sorry,
troubling you too. Man, I'm
sorry to
troubling
burst
you.
your bubble.
No, man, I'm troubling you as well.
Guys,
That's why I saw him when I went away. Yeah,
right,
man.
no bad covers. Yes. So we kick it off from there. Dating and so forth. Not really. I think it was in I would share. That was 2011. Got married in 2014. Hmm. Yeah, we start dating for a little while. No, seriously, talking. It
Right,
was in 2013. No, yes, that we really started the dating, and in visit church and whatever. And then the proposal was done May of 2014 at a rally, Rocky New Testament. And then we got married in December of 2014 of the same year. Mhm.
right. Congratulations to that. Of course, the pot cover
Yes.
wasn't bursting my bubble. Was pot cover, of course. Yes, definitely. So tell us a little bit about how it has budded into what it has become now, even to the birth this very impactful program called Let's Talk. Tell us that part and how all of this came out into the program Let's Talk.
Well, let's talk.
From that getting married and all that, then you had discussion and said, boy, you want to do more and all of that, and it would have said
Let's talk even
agreed.
several years after marriage. Let's talk came last year. That was like what? Um, that was about what, 7 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 7 to 8 years. Yes, after to marriage. So well, initial stage of Let's Talk wasn't really yet a discussion with Boyd first per se. I don't know why Miss Davis have not joined the program. I have asked a couple other persons who I'm not seeing on this evening, but that's okay. We'll
Right,
have
yeah, man.
a conversation. All right. So I remember the idea of Let's Talk Now. So I don't know if you know this social media personality, Miss Donna. They call her
Right,
Miss Donna Rowe.
right,
So I subscribed to her channel, and I remember one particular evening I got a notification on my phone to say that she was having some come back with chat. I missed one notification to come back with chat. And that birthed the idea of Let's Talk in my mind. So I remember I went to work the following morning and I shared it with Miss Davis. I told her, Davis, may have my idea. And I'm thinking about having a program called Let's Talk. What you think about it? But
mm-hmm.
even then, I was struggling with a day to have the program. I was going to school, and I'm studying online, so that
Right,
kind of conflicting. So I was looking a day that I wouldn't have class at a particular schedule. And then also my church scheduling was a factor because
Right.
we were having a program, prayer and intercession on Mondays, starting at 7 o'clock. We
Mm.
had testimony Tuesdays. On
Mm-hmm.
a Tuesday, we have Bible studies. On a Wednesday, we had praise and worship consecration on a Thursday. And then on a Friday, we had youth fellowship. So you
Mm-hmm.
see the 5 days, and on Saturday, I have my games night. So was fully booked. So I was saying, how am I going to do this program? And it won't be so conflicting to affect my church programs and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And we came up and we talked about, and I said 8:30. I said to her 8:30. I think 8:30 would be a good time because on a Tuesday, testimony Tuesday would have been finished by normally by 8 o'clock because it's normally for 1 hour. So it starts
Mm-hmm.
at 7 and goes up to 8. So I said I would have the time there to fit in the program. So where boy came in now was, the discussion of the thumbnail. Because say my biggest and baddest designer, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
graphic designer around town. Yes, so that's where the discussion really came in with boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first program, the topic that we had for the first program, corporal punishment. That
Mm-hmm.
was Miss Davis' idea. So she was the one who gave me that topic when we discussed. And I don't know if you see, I posted on my status because I got a reminder today where we did the picture with me and the boy, and I held the ruler to slap him. But
Yeah, I
even-
saw that one.
eventually, I did not use him. I did another one with Alina because I didn't want to really create any problem there. So I said, all right, let me use my own child. Let me use my own child. So eventually we used Alina to create that thumbnail. And yeah, it just kickstart from there. So it just started with myself, Mrs. Davis, Sister Myrel, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess some other young persons. And it was just a night. It was just a night of a discussion, and then the program just continued to bloom. You came on board this year, and yeah, program continue.
And I tell you, continues and will continue for
And
as long as we want.
higher height.
Uh, it does inspire, uplift, motivate, and does all of that indeed. Of course, it is Let's Talk. Let's Talk doesn't only impact Jamaica, it impacts the Caribbean and also the world. Let's Talk is a program for you and you and you, with you in mind. As we're taking the curtain down on memory lane, we wanna just look at these quotes that the versatile one has added. So quotes from the versatile one. I don't know. You have Wally, but me just pick out couple, and you're gonna share with our audience. What does these quotes mean to you? All right. Let's go with the or that you always put up. It says, "I am a rainbow."
That one is not mine, Mr. D.
Okay. I picked it up because I saw you quoting something like it. I stand out in the crowd. All right. Love is staying after knowing. What does that really mean?
Um, I think that can explain itself, Mr. Davis. But since you asked, so love is staying after knowing. All right. So just an example: a marriage couple, right?
Right.
You can never really know a person until you really live with that person. You never
Right.
really know Mrs. Davis until you really live with her.
Right.
Because in the dating, in the courtship, everybody, most times you're going to put your best self forward, right?
Right.
You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to show, you're not going to show the other side of you per se that you feel that the person would not want to really say accept. So if you genuinely love your partner
Mm-hmm.
after truly knowing who she is or who he is,
Mm-hmm.
then you will decide to stay. You will decide to stay. It says love suffers long.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things that you cannot stay with, even though you love the person. But
Right.
after really becoming aware of certain situation, if you truly and
Good.
genuinely love the person, certain things you can work with, you will stay.
Excellent quote. The life you live today determines your tomorrow. What do you want to be known for? Tell us about that one.
Exactly.
Huh?
So if you live at if you decide that you want to become a thief, if you decide that you're gonna be finger fearing
Mm-hmm.
as a child, that will follow you into your tomorrow if you don't seek a change. So today I choose to be a motivator. I choose to be an influencer. I choose to be a mentor. And that is something that I want to reap into my tomorrow. I want to see the benefit of my labor into my tomorrow.
Right. Excellent. Don't do not conform in a world that are destined or that you're destined to transform.
I think this was
Think
my
about
very
that.
first quote. I believe.
Okay.
Yes, I think this was my do not conform in a world you are destined to transform. Don't conform to a situation that goes against your belief system. Be the change. So not because everybody is doing it, that doesn't mean that you have to do it. Maybe you are the one who is destined, maybe you are the one who is unpicked to create the change or make the change in that society.
All right. So I'm gonna jump these two quotes that I have here, because that one really, those two I guess stand out. There's a lesson to be learned with the creeping process. Don't be too hasty or too hasty. Walk. Tell
Uh,
us about that.
you
One,
know,
then quote that sound like I want booking at the making. Guys, just know we're gonna
and
ask her.
most of these codes, I will be sitting sometime I'm at school around my desk and something just come to my mind, or I will be just meditating thinking, and a quote just really it just resonates with me, and me just start to write. I normally write down my quotes here on my notepad on my phone, but there's a lesson to be learned in the creeping process. None of us in life, many a times, we do not want to go through the little struggles. We do not want to start from the bottom up to the top.
Mhm.
Sometimes we rush to be ahead, and sometimes when we hasten to be ahead, we lose our way, we fall, we make mistakes, even though mistakes are a part of our success. But it's important that we take our time, we stay in our lane, we be grateful the place that you are at, learn the lesson, go through your process. And when you eventually start walking, when you eventually reach where you ought to reach or where you want to reach, then only
Mhm.
after you will indeed reap the benefit. And you would have learned the lesson to help you and to maintain that stance or position in life.
Excellent. It's a blessing. To God be the glory that also Mr. Douglas was saying, really, that what
Exactly.
the program he was talking about. Educate to elevate. Education is a powerful mechanism to fight poverty. Oh,
Oh,
tell us
yeah.
about that. That's one
Powerful. It's a powerful
education
tool,
mantra.
man. Once you educate yourself, you can be anything you want to be in life. You can change your situation. You can change your entire situation. You can change your status in life once you educate yourself. Equip yourself with the necessary tool that you need to go out there in life. And trust me, yes, man, fight the poverty.
Yes, indeed. So many failure is not defeat. It is a lesson to propel you to succeed.
You need me to explain that one too?
Failure is not defeat. You're
We
gonna
all,
run
we
them.
all, we all fall down in life. We all make mistakes. We all fail at something in our life. Sometimes some of us we feel defeated and we stop there. We stop there. We don't see it as a stepping stone. We don't see it as the lesson to you don't see it as the lesson to succeed. So once you fail at something, you should learn from it. So therefore you don't make the same mistake over and over again.
Interesting one. That's next. Expectations are an avenue for disappointment. Hmm. Let
Ah,
life happen.
yeah,
So that's what I have to expect.
can be
Talk
a
to me
little
about one day.
controversial. We can have expectation, but sometimes, Mr. Davis, we put our expectations too high. We put
Mm-hmm.
our expectation. It's sometimes let me say it's not realistic.
Right.
Sometimes our expectation it is not realistic, and because of that, when our expectation is not really met, we are disappointed. So just sometimes just let it be and just live life. Let life happen for you.
Right. Excellent. I'm gonna jump this one again and go to this one. God has it all planned out for you. Where you are today is where you ought to be. A true.
Oh yes, all right. So
Embrace
we're
you.
supposed to there talk to you about
Embrace.
stuff.
Talk to me about that one day.
Huh?
Talk to us about that one day.
Yes, man. God has a perfect plan. I know that sometimes there are choices that we make in life and it can derail our plan, derail His plan for our life. But I believe wherever we are in the moment, at a particular time in our life, that is where God wants us to be because He is a God that we made a mistake, Him could have shift things around and change it same way, but Him allow us to be there because to be there's a lesson to be learned in that moment. Let me use the example of Esther. She
Mhm.
was there. She was there. She succeeded Queen Vashti for a reason, and that was to save the people of God.
Mhm.
Yes, man. So wherever you find yourself in life, that's where you are to be. So just embrace it. Just embrace it.
Or embrace it until your change comes. Sound interesting.
Embrace it until your change comes.
Embrace your now to step into your tomorrow. Pretty much the
It's
same
the
thing
same quote.
as
It's the same quote. It's the same
right.
quote.
Life is about discipline, not feelings. So the one that work when the woman then full of emotion. Talk to
Oh
me
Lord,
about
emotion don't work. You hear, you hear Mrs. Davis?
it.
Emotion don't work. I know that sometimes our emotion gets the best of us, but in life we have to discipline. We have to
Mhm.
discipline ourselves. Know what you're about, know what needs to be done, get it done. No matter how it is that you are feeling. Get up, dress up, and show up. Get it done.
Yes, indeed. Almost at the end. So it says, train your mind to accept change.
Oh yes.
Change is inevitable. There is no one way of doing things.
And I think that that is just straightforward because you have some of us, and I'm going to pinpoint the church, even in
Mm-hmm.
the work, in even the workplace,
Work.
even in the workplace,
Yes.
we are bent on doing something one way, and if somebody else comes with a different idea, we don't easily accept it. But it's important for us to, yeah, man, train our mind. Be open-minded to receive because change is something that is constant. It's something that takes place every day. There's several ways of doing something and getting the same outcome. I wish you had the one that say life is like mathematics, more than
And
one
I
way.
was searching and I realized it, I only put them.
Yes, man, I
Yes.
love that one.
Tell
So
us about that one.
it kind of coincide with this.
Tell us
One,
that one. How that one?
like mathematics. Um, there are more than one way to do it. However, all right. So it talks up. Let me find it. I might quote, but I don't remember it word for word. It says, "Man, it's like mathematics more than one way to solve it." I call them inspiration. A little inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give me a minute. I'm not gonna remember them all.
As I say, you're gonna probably put him in a book or
Right.
something, memoir.
And my little inspiration. Life is like mathematics. You don't always get it right at the first attempt.
Mm-hmm.
But by learning the concepts or principles, you realize how simple it is. More than one way to solve it, but the outcome remains the same. So as we navigate through life, sometimes we don't really understand everything. We don't understand all the
Mm-hmm.
steps. But once we get to know the principles of life, how things really operate, and know that there's not one way of going around this thing, there's not one way of doing something. Oh my God, you will see how simple it is. And at the end of the day, you will eventually reap the intended result.
Excellent. Sound like a maths problem. You're giving me probably a challenge to go and write some quotes here. This one jumped out at me too. Your struggles are there to give you eagle's wings.
Oh, yes, oh God, oh
Rise out of your chicken mentality
mentality
and
and
soar
soar
like the
like the eagle
like
you
eagle
are.
you are. What you know
I
say?
think, I think this is one of my favorites. Oh God, your struggles, our struggles are there, Mr. David. Sometimes we go through struggles and we just succumb to them.
Yes.
We just bend under them, but they are there to strengthen us. They are there to elevate us. So when you
Mm-hmm.
rise above, when you stop thinking about your situation, you come out of yourself and you just see it as something there, just an hurdle for you to just soar over it. Oh my God, I love this one. Someone we just have a look at chicken mentality. Chicken
I'm
can't
telling
do
you.
all the chicken can do. I just walk. They put the panic growing every day, one place, constant, just move around. But we were created to excel, to grow,
Mm-hmm.
to soar like an eagle.
Rise above our chicken mentalities.
Oh Lord,
This
man.
one I say I had to jump. Hey you are different. I saw you that one there. Stop trying so hard to fit in. And I had to brighten that one. Stand out. There's a
Stand.
lesson to be learned
No man,
during the
that is
time
a
we creep out
different
the
one.
creeping
That's
process.
already, yeah. Hey, you
Right.
are different. Stop trying so hard to fit in, stand out. We don't always have to be a part of the crowd, Mr. Davis.
Mm-hmm.
We are not called to be surrounded and to be covered by the crowd. Even though we are in that space, we are called to stand out. We are called to be different from everybody. So we are carrier of the mark. So it must be seen, even though you are among them, you still stand out in your speech, in your word. Don't, and it goes back to the first quote, the quote, don't conform.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to be like everybody else. Don't try to fit in. It is okay to stand out. I am not a girl that tries to fit in. I don't try to fit in. I
Mm-hmm.
be myself. And if being myself, that means I'm going to stand out, so be it. I am going to stand out. Not everybody's going to like it that you're
Mm-hmm.
standing out. But
Right.
guess what?
Yes.
That is also okay. Stand out.
Excellent. There's one that I jumped over. All right.
We have gone through those.
Yeah. But I'm gonna give the viewers a little time to screenshot them. They're all copyrighted now. You can just go
Oh
ahead
yeah.
and use them. It is quotes from the versatile one, Lady Boy.
Oh
So
yes.
I was reading also. It also says you're an entrepreneur. They don't
Entrepreneur.
want to say the wrong thing now. Tell
Entrepreneur.
us about that entrepreneurial aspect of you.
Oh yes, I am the founder and CEO of Divine Health Hair and Beauty Care Products.
So you're gonna have a
So
regular store persons walking and buy the products. Tell us
oh
about
yes,
that.
that is the plan. That is the plan for the
Okay.
future. That is the plan for the future, Mr. Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe I started out this product line in the whole pandemic. So it started out from me because back in 2018, when I was pregnant, my hair was damaged, hair loss, and all of that. And one day when I look at my hair
Mm-hmm.
after giving birth, and I went in the dress and I look at my hair, and I just saw my hair just stringy. But you're sharing something else, Mr. Davis? Okay.
No man, go ahead, man. I was popping it up on the screen
Oh,
somewhat.
this is not the Divine Health one. This is my personal page. I have a
Yeah,
page.
no, but something was there on it. That's why.
Okay, right.
Right. So I just brought it up.
So I wanted to grow back my hair after just cutting it off. So I'd string it. Listen, what's up? I'm not used to this hair because I have really nice long hair. I cream my hair. I have nice long hair, and I just go in front of the dresser and I just clip. And my friend come over and see. She said, "No, Cherry. She have a camera got barber anyway, so then fix it up." Maybe a postpartum baby that got you and all of that. Yes, but it's a part of it. So yes. And in 2019 I decided that I wanted to go back my hair because I remember I had to cut it once again at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning February of 2019 because the lines just weren't growing back, and I had to I had to trim it again, and I did that. And then I went on my hair growth journey. It started with the avocado.
Yeah.
I started out with the avocado and other ingredients, egg and so forth. And uh, sorry. And after I started using it in my hair and so forth, I remember my cousin said to me, "Why, why you not try sell it or something to that effect?" All right, there it
Mm-hmm.
is, and health or something to that effect. And I said, "All right." And then I remember I didn't make it as yet. I posted the one that I did for my hair on my status at the time. And there's a young lady, her name is Chantel, my very first customer, Chantel Reed.
Mm-hmm.
With Havana there, she was my very first customer. Mr. Davis, when the order started, I did not have any container or anything to
Mm-hmm.
put the products in. So my first container was, the little black container that you purchase porridge from Juicy Beef.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first 8 ounce container, and I sold that for $1,000 to the young lady. Yes, it was $1,000 at the time to the young lady, and got the feedback and things start going. I remember I got another order. My daughter had this nice little plate, little lunch plate. Oh God, we love it. I had to put the next order in that one and sold it. And then my friend said something to me, and my cousin, she said she told me about this place that sells container, and
Mm-hmm.
I asked her because she was living in Portmore at the time, and I asked her to make purchase of a couple of them because the business never really take off
Right.
yet, and she purchased some of them for me. And I remember when it started developing somewhat, I had to go to Mandeville now to a place named Pac Mart. I never know where it was. So I had to charter a vehicle and the Caribbean there and purchase some container and come down and then, you know, I remember when I got some orders and I'm going into Kingston now to get some raw material because me I now develop the business. I'm moving away because avocado, the pear, it goes out of season. So I now started to research now what I could use to replace or to use now to make the mask because I started off with the hair mask first.
Mm-hmm.
What I could use now in place of the natural avocado. When I did my research, I realized that they had the avocado butter. It
Mm-hmm.
was the same thing, natural avocado, because put it out there, my products are natural based products, no chemicals added to my products, no chemical at all. So for a baby from 6 months, can use the your products. And I went to a place called Jesus. Earth Elements. That's
Mm-hmm.
where I get my there in Kingston. That's where I get my natural based products from. Went there. I remember my first purchase, Mr. Davis.
Mm-hmm.
When we go a town, a $20,000 me have, Mr. Davis. And when I went and I see the prices. Remember now, Pac Mart now one is in Kingston, further down from halfway through there.
Right.
Me have to go get container and I have to get because I know wanted to do hair growth oils and so forth. So I wanted to have more products on the market. And
Right.
when me look at chum change, realize it couldn't do much.
Right. Yeah. I
Wait,
can
God
imagine.
stretch it, and we were able to purchase some stuff, purchase container, and we came home. And my husband, my big support, He mad up me. As you can see, the nice designs there. He did my labels and everything. And that is his contribution to date. I don't have to pay for design. I don't have to pay for labels and all of those things. He is the one who really takes care of those stuff. To date, long story start, to date, I have, I think, about 9 products now on the market, 9 products that I am now producing, and I can report that to date, me not telling us that me I make no only for money or business at one, but it takes time. But I can see where from $20,000 I can go to the store with over I'm producing over $100,000 worth of products, and I thank God for that. Business is not where I want it to be as yet, but it is growing. And I am grateful and I am thankful for all those persons that have supported me at the initial stage of
Mm-hmm.
my business and those who continue to support me just the same. And as you mentioned earlier, Mr. Davis, yes, man,
Mm-hmm.
I see myself having my own little store. You can walk in and you see everything divine. And not only that, Mr. Davis, I have my little sweetie, sweet tooth, divine sweet tooth, and more wholesale. I don't have the shop yet. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I have my divine sweet tooth and more wholesale. Yes, man, where I sell my sweetie wholesale price and I sell them retail. It's coming on slowly but surely. I need a shop and I know I'm just taking it one day at a time, step at a time. I know that God will open doors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, man, and he will make the right links. I will meet the right person, and the right links will be made to expand my business.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So they're here on the screen for the viewers who'll be watching back the live.
Yes,
Definitely, this is how you can reach out to her on Instagram at Divine Health 86. You can follow her there on her business page.
I also have a YouTube channel for the business, but it's not so much active.
Right. So you that will be up and running soon. So Divine Health Hair and Beauty Care, all natural ingredients products, quality you can trust. It's 876-250-1953, and you can deliver all over the world, right?
Oh yes, I have Oh Lord, I have international customers, Mr. D. I have
Right. So we're gonna
in
link up
America.
Sukumbuzu, and
Yes,
we're
my
gonna link up Mr. Douglas and Evangelist Doyle and all these persons from the Caribbean where they can access the product. So go over to her Instagram, hit her up on Divine Health 86 on Instagram if you want to know more about those products.
they may also go over to
And
the YouTube channel as well. It's also
right, so you go if you drop a comment at Ancelena Versatility boy, then you want more about um, Divine Health as well, you can reach out to her there. She will find you and work out arrangement for you to get your products there. So
product.
a lot to hear about the lady that always into putting persons in a hot seat. So much to know. An entrepreneur, a
Teacher,
teacher by profession, a singer. I was saying songwriter. I don't know. What about the
right?
songwriting? Maybe soon
You
come.
know, I make up the songs. You know, they just come to me and I sing a tune and so forth, but I don't really
Right.
write.
And I read the songwriter part. So an entrepreneur, teacher by profession, a songbird, a businesswoman, um, a vlogger, a videographer, a photographer,
Content creator. Let's just put that.
content creator, along with her capable husband, none other than my friend in the ministry as a musician. Big up Sir Jason Boyd. Enough
You see
respect,
all
sir.
those nice thumbnails that
Yes, all
keep
these those programs that you we all look good on um
my
coming
husband.
onto the program, even when probably look a little tired on the live. We look nice on. Thank you so much, Sir Boyd. Really appreciate it. And it's another Let's Talk anniversary. Cake and ice cream. Maybe when we go live on location sometime, possibly this year, hopefully, can do something like that. Let's Talk live sometime earlier in the day. Can have our guests coming in and all of that, and we can have all of the cake and the ice cream with a shout and products for you to buy. You know, you get some discount once you tune into Let's Talk and all of them something there. Yes. So we're just about at the end of a very impactful evening of this program, Let's Talk, where it is here to motivate, inspire, uplift you, bless you, you name it. This program does it.
Yes.
And it is back with us next week. You can't afford to miss next week. Guess
Indeed, indeed.
maybe this guest is going to be from Kazakhstan. Maybe it's going to be from India. Maybe you're going to hear somebody from China or Japan.
Anywhere across the
We
world.
don't know. But let's join us next week, Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. for Let's Talk. It can do so much more and a lot for you. So this evening, final words from the lady in the hot chair. Tell us
Um,
final closing remarks.
Basically, I just want to say thank you to all the supporters of Let's Talk, this channel. I know sometimes it's not easy. We are here for 2 hours, and
Mm-hmm.
some of you stay. You have stayed with us for the entire 2 hours. We really appreciate it. That
Yes,
is dedication. And I believe we ought to support each other, Mr. Davis,
right,
because one way or the other, you might be doing something in life and you're going to need my support.
right,
So it's best that I am doing something now in the moment. You give your support to me.
right.
I am big on that.
Mm-hmm.
I am big on support. That is my nature. Sometimes it's with something physical, Mr. Davis. I don't even want it, but I'm gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I am not in need of it, but I am going to buy it. It's a
Yes.
service that you're offering. Sometimes I don't really need your service, but because I know that you are trying, and Selena is going to give her support to you. That is the person that I am. So I am just imploring you this evening from one of my quote. Don't be afraid to stand out there in life. Don't be afraid to be different. You were not
Mm-hmm.
called to conform to your situation, but you were called to change it. Don't let your situation, don't let your struggles, don't let them get the best of you. They are there to help you. They are there to help you to excel, to expand. They are propelling you to succeed. So don't stay down there when you have failed. I am just combining some of my quotes in one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stay down there when you have failed at something, because failure does not mean defeat. Failure is just a lesson there for you. A lesson is in it to be learned by you in order to take you to your next stage in life. God bless you all this evening. Let me say thank you all for joining. Thank you all for sharing. I see all the comments, happy anniversary, etc. I see them all this evening and I have received them. So God bless you. And I'm looking forward to sharing with you once again next week, same time, 8:30, right here on Let's Talk. And for those of you who will be watching this program after it it have post, God bless you also as well. And thank you for your continued support. Leave a comment, no man.
Mm-hmm.
There's a comment in the chat, but leave a comment now. Yes, man, we want to see the comments coming in as it relates to this program. Those of you that I had asked to join and you were unable to join and share, that is okay. We can always go back and leave a comment to say, how has this program impacted your life in one way or the other? Don't forget to share out the program. Let somebody else benefit from what you are benefiting from also. God bless you.
So as we get ready to go, just briefly in prayer, Father, we want to thank you for this another wonderful evening of Let's Talk, the anniversary of something great, something wonderful. I thank you for your daughter and your son who has brought this vision to the fore, God. And I pray that God as mighty as is in the anniversary time, that it will grow from strength to strength. Persons will be truly impacted in all facets of their lives, God. Pray that those who will watch it live, those who will watch it afterwards, delayed. I pray that God Almighty will impact their life. If they're not a Christian, they will want to become a Christian. If they're a Christian already, want to grow into a deeper and relationship with you, Father. For all the persons out there, I pray that you touch them, God Almighty. Bless them in their going out and their coming. Those who have their businesses, those who have their children, remember their children, remember the parents, remember the students, remember the teachers, God. Even for the upcoming exams that the students have in PEP, we give them into your hands, Father, tomorrow and the following day in Jamaica, and even for those in the Caribbean region and the Americas and all over the globe who might be sitting exams, whether at the basic or the secondary or primary or high school level, college level, we give them into your hands, Father. I say, bring back to the remembrance what they have studied. As the word says, study to show yourself approved unto God, workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, God. Just as we divide, we speak the word of God. So as we study, Almighty God, or the Word of God. So as we study God to improve ourselves, you are going to let us not be ashamed. Father, take full and complete control once more. As we give today, this evening, into your hands. So Lord, have your way as we give you glory and honor and praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Join us again next Tuesday evening for Let's Talk. Bye bye.
I am talking and my mic is muted. Bye bye, everybody. God bless you. And don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share and don't forget to subscribe. Blessings. Bye bye.
Bless you.
See you, Mr. D.
Bye.